Welcome back, folks. We are at November 25th, 1 month from Christmas. Yahoo! I look forward to hearing you guys showing me you are now specialists in cross-cultural communications. Please start communicating as soon as you can. As our Professor Ali was just saying, the more that you communicate details, the more you can get marks in class. Do not wait until the end. Ali, have you been able to go through and show a bunch of these other details? Related to, let me go through and show. So on the screen, you know that we have PPTs all the time. This one's teaching about research, but in addition to that, there's this video that's teaching about international negotiation. I'll turn this off right now. But there's a bunch of other stuff. Recently, a student asked me how to get a grant, because you guys need to be a specialist in some aspect of corporate cross-cultural communications and grants and videos related to that. So I showed that to somebody. If you have questions, please speak up. This is showing, again, the Ford Foundation grant is only, what is it? I think it says super short, 400 characters. I was saying to you guys 400 words, but it's not 400 words, 400 characters, even shorter than that. So make sure you're aware of that. This is showing corporate cross-cultural communications. I hope somebody in class will be able to make this and present this either today or next class. So, hey Solhan, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Can you tell me what we're looking at on the screen right now? Wing it.
International Management Awards of Yonsei EIC.
Keep going. Number one, first place, first place.
First place, most impactful presentation.
And then down here, first place.
First place, best research paper.
Great. And first place for best social media video and presentation. Which one do you want to win, Hazelhan?
I want to win first most impactful presentation.
Great. So when are you going to make this paper? This paper was created by Jungyeon Kim in 2014. That was a student in the class. So you guys can make something like this and do it. Xiang Ha, how are you doing today?
Good.
What would be an amazing award you would like to put on your resume?
Could you give us an example?
Okay. Hey, Solhan, can you give us 3 examples? And you can think of anything else you want, but Hey Solhan can read 3 different examples.
3 different examples at each one.
Well, one example here is for most impactful presentation. Another example is best research paper. Another example is best video, social media video and presentation. So if you have your resume and you apply to a company and you said, I got this degree from the university, I got this internship with Samsung, and I got this award for doing something, I hope it will make you feel pretty good. So what kind of award would you like, Ms. Ha? It could be these 3 or anything else.
Maybe give award to research paper.
Okay. Anybody else think of a new topic? You can communicate about anything, right? How about Min Jae Kim? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Really? You're hiding yourself from us, which is okay. I wish I could see you, but hey, coronavirus, that's life, right? So think of being creative. We have mentioned 3 different awards here. You can communicate about having good presentation skills. You can talk about having good research skills. You can talk about an award that you're able to give good videos, make good videos, work online. What else relates to our class? What else could you say you did in class and it would be cool to have an award for that on a resume? Any other opportunity?
There might be a best communication art.
Good. Next time you say it, hopefully you speak faster so you don't kill me waiting. I'm that New York minute guy. I want to go fast. You didn't know. Oh, your turn. What award could our class have that you would love to put on your resume?
Maybe as this is the cross and corporate culture communication, so I think that the most impactful presentation will be related to our class very well, I think.
Great. So do it. All of you, make this. This was made by other old students. You guys can make something like this. And as long as it's kind of true, I don't want to lie to anybody, I'll sign off on it. And at the end of the year, I can give you a nice fancy award. So practice understanding that there's the bigger picture. Don't just think what's in your mind. Try to focus on the details of the big picture. When you're communicating with people from different cultures, you think these things. These are usually parochial at the beginning. Then they may develop a little bit with education to be ethnocentric, but always, usually you'll have an SRC problem. Sungak Lee, what does SRC stand for again? Self something criteria. Anybody in class?
Self-reliance.
Yes, self-reliance criteria. You rely on only what you know yourself, and you forget that the other person doesn't care. The other person only cares what he knows or what she knows. So for you to communicate well, you need to think what other people like. So if you are going to create a presentation, present it now and check the other person understands. And if you're going to make one of these awards, especially if you want to say you're going to win it, try to think what the other classmates want and think, okay, I want to win this most impactful presentation, but the other student, maybe they want the best research award, or they want the best video award, or they want the best award with interacting with companies outside of class. Maybe a social impact award, something like that. So if other people want something else, also come up with an award, communicate so that they understand and see value in it, so that they will adopt these type of things. That's one thing that we're talking about. What is this? Ali already went through it. Do you guys have any questions about this? Any questions about our topic? Ali, you went through these points okay, right? So, Lee Soo-hyun, are you in class today?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Is there a reason that when I go to week 13, which is this week, is there a reason this is blank? What could you put in here? Eugene O, Hae Han, any of you, all of you, what could you put in here?
Maybe the update of our research paper.
Right. If you do that update, you share the update, you can get 5 points for sharing maybe your abstract and introduction, 5 points for sharing your background literature. And of course, don't wait forever. Trust me, you guys are young, full of energy, you're beautiful, life is wonderful, but the world and life passes really fast. If you have a hiccup and any sort of problem, and you can't present next week or the following week, there's a chance you're not going to get marks. So be proactive, communicate now, present your final research paper now. You can get marks now. If you want to present again Later, a revised, better, upgraded version, you can get more marks. Don't wait for anything. So start doing that now. Let's take a look at some examples. This is our class files. That's all pretty clear to you. Here is an example of one student's files. And you can see they have many different research articles. And in here, you can see they have their draft paper. And so the draft paper is here. The students has already finished. They have the abstract, the keywords, the introduction. They are focused on Samsung. It goes through, there's many different details. At the end, they only have a few references, but it's just because they haven't finished writing it. There's a lot more references that they're going to be adding. Also, here is a different student that's doing even better. This student also has many articles here, and there's many books that they're referencing, and they actually have their regular PPT. And don't forget your grant details. You should start developing your grant application. And this student has already surveyed Samsung. We have the visiting professors, Alonso Guzman, Linda Lee, Bonnie Nam, and Jens Graf. And you can survey your classmates, your students, things like that. The final term papers here. And what I think is really interesting is this student also has a video. You guys all have to have some sort of video. And this video, 67 megabytes. So we see that they have the term paper. It's already developed. There's the abstract, keywords, introduction. Everybody knows about Gert Hofstede. They're referencing that. They're referencing properly. They have the author and the year. Another reference, author, year, author, year, author, year, author, year. That's good. I recommend, if you can, try to put many of the research findings into one chart and present that. And that's one way to do your literature review. Obviously, every one of us is a specialist in Hofstede's cultural dimensions. Don't just teach general details. Make sure. When you're talking, you make a point. Make sure you teach something new in your PPT. Make sure you teach something new in your paper. I appreciate that you're looking at me. Eugene, oh, she has such serious eyes focused on me. And Soo-Hyun Lee, maybe she's falling asleep and just text messaging some friends, not focusing on me, but it's still cool. She's got a video on. That's cool. But I'm not that important. What's more important is life. And so use our class paper or your grant to start interacting and give your paper to a company you want to work with. And so this paper could be used for that. And they go through, you guys know what this is, right? What's this talking about? Is this a good, let's look through one student's paper and identify in class if it's okay or if there's something that we should develop. So there's a few charts here. Seems okay so far. Let's go up to the beginning. First chart they have, where's the first chart they have? Here. Good. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
Is this okay? Are we missing anything? Sung-Yun Che, how are you today? Can you hear me? Maybe Sung-Yun Che is not here in class. What about Sung-Ju Lee? Sung-Ju, can you hear me?
Aye, sir.
Great. Do you have any ideas how you can improve this paper? This is a student's paper.
Visually improving the, how to say this, graph or something?
Yeah. Do you have an idea of how we can improve this graph or the paper about the graph? Can you guys see me? This is our class textbook, right? And in our class, I don't know if you can see okay. Anyway, in our class textbook, we have this chart. So they're using that, but what are we missing on this monitor, on your computer monitor? Can anybody figure it out? If you hand me a paper like Ladalachi,
Yes,
what did you just say?
I can see the reference of this slide.
Thank you. I love you. If you get information from a book or an article or me or another classmate or survey somebody, you must say, I got the information from them. So you need to have something like this Myers 2014 right beside this chart, right beside this. If you don't, that's cheating, that's stealing the ideas from somebody. And if you steal too much, you could fail the class. The university has a policy about that. So how do you need to reference this? Inside your essay, you need to say the author and the year. Luckily, this student is very safe because they have not just the author and the year, but they have almost the full reference here, which is nice. But the actual full reference, and they have good references here, good references here, good references here. All of this is directly right out of our textbook, right? So this student basically made a good term paper almost only using the textbook, which is, it's okay, but it's better if you add new things. And they are talking a lot about Samsung, how Samsung relates to international communication, how expats working with Samsung modify details. If we look, where is the end? At the end, we should see the conclusion, and then references. Now, do you see, here is references. Any comments about this? Is this okay? Any way to improve this? Min-Jae Kim?
I don't see any DOIs.
Right, well, there's one DOI, I believe this is it here, but they didn't actually say DOI. And yes, can you explain, what does that mean? Icharin, what are you talking about, DOI? You're talking about drunk driving? Driving under the influence? Are you crazy?
So for AP citation 7th edition, you need to include DOI for journal articles in order for the readers to easily access the articles online.
Yes. So here is like a DOI. Here is another one. It's very clear. This is a DOI. Can you guys see this? But yes, every one of the facts, the charts, the quotes, the details you get from somebody else, you need to have either a DOI or you need to show the full website where you downloaded it from. What else are they missing here? They are missing something else. What else can you notice here?
I think they didn't mention about retrieve day.
They didn't mention what?
Like the day they get this information.
Yes. When you retrieved this information, when you found this information, or when you access this information, that's also supposed to be here also. Great. What's one last very small detail? Maybe you're not going to notice, but except for when they accessed it and except for the DOI or website, this is perfect. What is key here that many students might forget? Let's take a look here. For example, almost at the beginning of the paper, they're quoting Aaron M. And then another Aaron M, then another Aaron M, then another Aaron M. And then, oh, here's a Myers. They start with Myers, and then they go to Adler, as you can see here, Adler, Hofstede, Hodges, they have that there. So if they start with Adler, then Hofstede, then Myers, then Aaron, Adler, right? Why isn't Hofstede here? If you want, today this week we're focused on negotiating. So I'm giving you a bunch of information to help you start negotiating your marks. Practice negotiating with me in class. So can you see how this is almost perfect, but there's still one other mistake?
So for Hofstede, I think the writer misreferenced this thing because he or she referenced it as his first name. So Hofstede's first name, Gert, not Hofstede itself.
Right. So this is actually Gert Hofstede, that's the father, and the son is Gert Jans Hofstede. They're basically using the first name, not the family name. So that's okay. Maybe in Korea, you know, everybody's Kim or Jung or Lee. I will accept that, but you're right. This is wrong. You should use the family name and then the initial. The other thing that I wanted to point out is it should be, what is good here is alphabetical order. The first reference with an A is up here. Then you go to B. They don't have any references to C's. So then the name D, E, F, all the way to the last reference should be like a V or a Z. Your references should be in alphabetic order like this. So great. Here is the last thing that I'd like to see from all of you guys. I went through, I checked, and I did not see too many people talking about presenting this stuff today. Xianghai, you may be presenting some updates, but one thing I don't see from you is, where is it here again? Oops, no. Yeah, this. When you're asking for something, if you just ask for it, that's your opinion versus my opinion. Everybody's equal, I can say no. But if you say, I deserve this, or I want this, and here's the link to my support, it's very hard for me to argue. So you should all be giving links to everything. Give support, reference everything. This guy has his end term paper. Here's the link. Here's the term paper PPT. Here's the actual term paper. It's written, the link to that. The grant application linked here. He did a survey and his data linked here. He made a video and it's already uploaded on YouTube, and all the links are here. So is that clear? We're looking through this. Sihang Ha, Icharin. You want to do a research project update, but it looks to me, based on this, you're not prepared. If you're
so
not
maybe,
prepared with information to show, should I skip you? How can you negotiate with me?
so maybe later we share our link to the blank.
Maybe later.
Maybe now.
Yes, good. Thank you. I love you. Don't wait for anything. Share the link now. Maybe you can put it in the Zoom chat to start with. As soon as people have information, then I can't argue with you. If you don't give the link, it's easy to argue. So who wants to start presenting now? Xiangha, is that Icharin?
We would like to present our project coming Friday.
But not today?
Yeah, we need to more.
Terrible. Don't wait. You may be a perfectionist, but being a perfectionist, you'll almost never get perfect marks because you can always improve. So show what you have now and check other people understand it and get comments from other people. Check the cross-cultural communications that it's being properly understood. If you don't check it's being understood, just like the Korean Ministry of Justice teaching people how to marry internationally, you could have a huge problem. So give your presentation now, even though it's a draft, even though it's rough, and get the reverse translation or the back translation. Make sure it's clear they understand your message. And then maybe they can give you ideas how to improve and make your final presentation that way. That would be best. Present today. Anybody want to present anything today, or are you ready for me just to get into the negotiation topic?
So if you present today, you will have some points extra. If you have anything, just present, just show that you already have started something and you all already have.
Can I present only introduction and key points?
Yes, do you have the share screen option?
I will make sure you have that. Just a second. So that's Hong Min, that you're the one that wants to present?
Yes.
You now have co-hosting ability. You can start sharing your screen. Whenever you're ready, we can go through it. I'm also going to, while I have a couple of seconds, here is, again, the video teaching about this week's topic, negotiation. It is in this file here. This is the, where is it here? Class video on negotiation. So everything I could be teaching is already here. I'm waiting for Hofstede to, sorry, not Hofstede, for Hong Min to start presenting his details. There's more PPTs we can go through and talk about. But whenever you're ready, Hong Min.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, I think I prepared not much things today, but I think I will present until this Friday. Well, so I only prepared abstract and the key points. And
just a second. Can I? Is it okay if I? Do you want me to be very nice and say, "Awesome, awesome, awesome! You're amazing! You're a god! I love you." Do you want me to talk like that, or do you want me to help you develop as much as possible?
Oh yeah, help me, please.
Good. So stop being so bloody nice. You kept saying, "Well, I'm not really good. I'm not really. I didn't really finish." If you talk like that, many people in the world are going to walk away. If you think you're not very good, they're going to walk away. If you want to get success, if you want to get great jobs, you need to start following, sorry, Donald Trump. Promote yourself. So everybody in class, please stop thinking of yourself as a student. Start thinking of yourself as a specialist, as a consultant, as a researcher, and not alone. You are part of a big team. Julian just helped. Hong Min's helping. I'm helping. Alonzo Guzman, an executive of Samsung, is helping us. Jens Graf from Denmark was helping us. So all of everybody in all of the students, professors, and visiting professors, we're all part of a huge team, and we can help you. So we're all part of that research award, and don't be so modest. That is popular in Korea, but it's not that popular in North America and in many places in Europe. What about you? Julian, how often do you hear people that, like business people, saying they're not good at things in Europe?
The ones who don't have money, they always comment.
So if you want to be poor, keep saying, I'm not very good at it.
Look, I have a friend, when he's buying a car, he starts promoting reselling it after 3 or 4 years. So he tells everybody how nice, how good it is all the time. And he sells it with a good price afterwards to the same people he talked with. So they always see and show only the bright side.
I'm the same way. I've got a couple of apartments and properties that are always for sale. Even though I love my properties, they're always for sale if somebody's going to give me a crazy high price and I can get something better. So yes, be proud. Hong Min, continue. And please be careful of the modesty. That's one point. But another point I want everybody in class to be aware of is time. Look how old I am. Look how much gray hair. I even got a whole bunch of gray hair in my nose. Don't make me any older. Don't give me any gray hair. Save my time and teach me something new immediately. So don't tell me I'm going to do something or I'm going to talk about this. Just talk about it. What's the fact? What can you teach me new in your paper, Hong Min?
So the topic is, as you can see, a little bit changed the topics because I think
I'm dying
as-
here. I'm getting more gray hair.
Oh, okay, because as changing or as presenting my weekly topic, I thought that it can be better if I change the weekly weekly topics. So I changed a little bit with mixing global leadership with origin topics in my research paper. So my topic is understanding global leadership skills and strategy, how Samsung Electronics are using them and what they have to do for their company success. And I described my personal information, and this is my abstract on my research paper.
Can I apologize. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to be really bad, and I'm going to interrupt you. Can everybody in class see how I talk, the North American way of talking, and Hong Min? He's being very polite, He's talking about he had a project. He's talking about his revising details. I think he talked about he has a German Shepherd puppy dog. He also has a red basketball. I think he talked about his mother got flowers last week. And eventually he's talking about in his abstract, but I still haven't heard, what are you teaching new? What are you an expert in? Try to communicate in the North American way. I'm not saying this is best. When you're in Korea, yes, talk this way, but practice talking direct if you're talking to a European or a North American, okay? So again, Hong Min, go back. You can take your screen back, but try to start telling us, what is your topic about in one sentence? And then what are you teaching in one sentence? Then use the rest to support it.
Okay, through this research paper, I think I can teach about the good leadership skills with good strategy for good success for society or companies. So I think that is my abstract main sentence.
Miss Hong, you're over in beautiful Vietnam. Do you know, did you just hear what Hong Min said, Miss Hong?
Yes, I hear.
Did you hear what is good leadership? Or did he just say, I'm going to talk about leadership? Did he teach you
Yeah.
something? Or did he
He just
generally?
like go around, not directly to the details.
I love you, Hong Min. Thank you for trying. But you told me you want me to push you to learn, so try again. Rather than say, I'm going to talk about leadership, just tell me, what did you learn? What is important about leadership? Or what is your abstract teaching? One sentence.
I think, can I just describe what I learned through this research paper?
Don't describe it, just tell me. One sentence, what did you learn?
I learned about leadership and global leadership and
Not about. What is the one thing you learned in leadership? How can you be a leader? I need help. Somebody help me with my communication styles. It's a beautiful abstract. You're going to get lots of marks for this. So congratulations. What your words say, everybody will read later. But for right now, since you are presenting it and you are getting marks, I'm trying to give you something to think about, how to make it better so you can get higher marks next class, or higher marks next week, or higher marks in 2 weeks. Is that helping you, Hong Min?
Yes.
So can somebody help me read this file from Hong Min, the abstract, and find one sentence from here? What are we learning? What is he teaching? And don't say about leadership. this sentence right here. All people could and can be a leader if they learn number 1, number 2, number 3. Can you finish that sentence? Can you see here, maybe in the fourth line down, you say all people can be a leader if they learn special abilities. Just finish it. Ability 1, ability 2. Can you finish that sentence, Hong Min?
Yes.
You don't need to revise it. Just tell the class, what's that one thing you're teaching? What is the abilities we need to be a leader?
Okay. I think we can get okay. Please. Hold on. Oh, yes. I think so. All people could and can be a leader if they learn.
Number 1,
learn
number
some
2,
skills from this research paper.
No, that's not telling me it. Tell me, okay, good. So you understand what we're talking about, right? Don't tell me skills in some secret paper that I don't know. Just tell me the answer. In your abstract, you don't say, I'm going to talk about something. That's generalization. Say those skills. List those skills. Okay? Sorry for interrupting you. Please continue. And hey, Sohan, Xiangha, did you guys promise me last class that you're going to help me be quiet? And you guys promised me you were going to talk more in class. So you guys comment on Hong Min and the rest of the class. Maybe when you see something, say, okay, you, Vanita, or you, Miss Hong, or you, Sung Ju Lee, can you comment on this? Hey, Solhan, Xiangha, please, you take over while Hong Min is actually presenting, okay? Don't be quiet. Keep going, Hong Min. Good luck debating with Xiangha and He Solhan.
So, guys, today the time is short, so it's the last time you can get some extra point for a class contribution. So you can share your advancement with your papers. So if there is more people who want to do it, just let's make a list. So who is the next one?
Professor, I want to share some article that I found.
Are you presenting for yourself only or your team as well?
I will present it. I send the link in the chat because I can't share screen. So could you please share it for me?
Okay, so anybody registering after Radalachi?
Everybody that puts their hand up, everybody that presents could get marks. If you don't want more marks in class, stay quiet.
Okay,
Don't
Radalachi.
communicate. If you want marks in communication class, communicate.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep presenting, summarize the main things you found, Hong Min. And remember, try to teach something direct and ask for points or demand points when you're finished. Keep going, Hong Min. Ladalachi will talk after you.
Oh, okay. I think just like a direct key points of this research paper is it's a little hard to say, but I think any people can be a leader if they learn personalities and global leadership strategy and chains. That is my abstract.
Okay. keep going. Present your regular plan.
Oh, and so then through these key points, the research paper contains some factors and things might helpful and might necessary to leadership skills and strategy. And through this basic case and basic knowledge, and I will use this strategy with Samsung Electronics for better company success, or I'll give some opinions to companies.
Okay, are you finished or anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think today, it is okay to say about.
Okay, don't forget that you need to put your points in here, right? This, what I'm showing now is where Hongmin, you should write something here with your points and a link to that paper. Next, was it Ladalachi? Or are you the next one? Who is the next one that asked to present today?
Yes, I will present it about some article that I found.
Okay, please show it on the screen so everybody can see.
Professor, could you share screen for me? That link I sent to the chat because I can't share it. I have no laptop now.
Oh, you don't have a laptop. Okay, so you want me to go in. Okay, you want me to do the work for you. Okay. Great. I love it when somebody's demanding lots from me. No problem. So here is what she's talking about. Start talking, Lada.
Yes, this is a short story about avoiding comfort zone by VJS Varan, exclusive chairman of companies. The short story is Henry and his present always enjoy and did similar activity. They often talk about their hopes and dreams for the future that farther away. But one day Henry's friend died
Okay,
suddenly.
just like with Hongmin, what are you teaching the class? Is this teaching something related to negotiations, or is this teaching something related to your research project? Rather than you read the whole or talk about the whole article, what's your point? Communicate the direct point.
It is related to my research. That
Okay. And so what is your research topic and what does this teach? Very concise.
My research is succeeding in 21st century, and it's like work how to get out of comfort zone to get life better in 21st century. So I want to talk about the short story first and get into the main point.
That's nice, but I don't. I don't want to hear a long story or a short story. I want to include, we have, I don't know, almost 20 people listening. I want to include something of value to all 20 people here today. So can you summarize what is the main lesson here?
Yes, the death of friend made Harry realize that it's necessary to use time better. In the end, there's a quote that time the most precious resource we have, not only doing what we are used to do, like what is easy to do or that we already know how to do.
Awesome. That alone is good. So she just used this article, this story, as an excuse to tell everybody, don't waste time. I love that. Thank you very much, Ladalachi. And so what? Why did you do it? You did it because you're teaching people, making them better, and maybe for yourself, you want to get points. And so since this is an article related to your research, you can get a point for this. Please add that to the research Excel file.
Okay.
Thank you. So is there anything else that you want to teach the class about that? Is there
No,
anybody in class that has questions about this?
Push out of the convergence that we last time that we talked about the motivate, but that which one is the most like effective motivations to individuals in the workplace that we talk about. I think that the effective motivations that match on individuals that that is important because for instance that someone says that the environment of the workplace is the most motivation for them, or the like job security or honor that we can hear about this. So I think the effective motivations that from the individual can be the way to push out of our comfort zones.
Good. So what motivates you? Let's answer that question. Everybody try to answer what motivates you. Second, the first thing is, Ladalachi, she just got marks for sharing this. How valuable is this? This is from basically a blog talking about some forum. Somebody had a meeting and they shared the notes from the meeting. So
yes, it can be a start. However, it should be referred with some articles that are from Scopus database.
Right. So this says that the blog, like this blog or the forum that we have, it says it's not reliable, but it does not mean it's not valuable. It is valuable. I completely agree with the story that Ladalachi has, but it's just based off of my opinion and based off of somebody else's opinion that was talking in that forum. So the truth is that somebody said it and it's current and it's new. So you can get points for it. Usually, if you want to be an expert, you should be communicating things that are most reliable. So use some things that are Scopus journals and use blogs and media and Facebook and LinkedIn. So use all of that. So you can easily get 1 point for that. If you actually share your article, Lada, if you share your PPT, you can get a lot more points for that. 5 points for that. Maybe 15 points or 35 points if you share enough, right? So I said, let's skip over something and then come back and talk about it. Did I talk about everything? Any other questions about this? While we wait for Miss Lee,
share the screen.
I made you co-host. You should be able to. Yes, you are. You are co-host. You can kick me off anytime. You are this the English writing Soo-hyun Lee, right? Not the Korean writing.
Yes, English writing.
Yep. You can share your screen. While you're getting ready to share your screen, one thing that I want to make sure everybody knows today is when you're negotiating, make sure you know what BATNA is. So as you can see here, this is a Harvard presentation, research showing how to negotiate, how to get yes. And everybody must understand, usually when you negotiate, you're looking for one thing and somebody else is trying to sell one thing. But that is dangerous, not good negotiation. What you should be trying to do is look for many alternatives, many possible things, and understand the other person might be able to trade many possible things. I'll stop talking. Go ahead, Miss Lee.
Okay, this is just part of of our last part of our report. It's about benchmarking. So I've concentrated on the company Google that Samsung can replicate. So I divided into 3 big sections among 3 big non-financial rewards. First is, as you can see, the bold writing. This is public recognition, and the second is recognition of specific individual work, and third one is freedom, autonomy to pursue one's passion. So I focused on writing the non-financial rewards that Samsung does not have, but Google has. So which can make differentiate between these 2 companies. So just to give a brief introduction about this non-financial rewards, I wrote. Public recognition is about it's like recognizing the individual's work, but it has to be like announced in a public so that people will feel more responsibility and be proud of themselves, and they feel like confident about their work. So this policy or reward was done by the Google's former HR head, Laszlo Bock. He has conducted this system. And then the second one is recognition of specific individual work. And this is also similar with the first one, but this is more related to peer review. If this public recognition was done by the managers, recognition of specific individual work was recognized by each other, the members of each other. And actually they have a board, like computer program called Kudos. In that it is called, and also it is called G Thanks. In that site, employees can just write about the compliments about another employees or the managers. They don't need any access, or they don't have to be like confirmed from managers what they're trying to say. And third one is freedom and autonomy to pursue their passions. Actually, I believe everyone knows about this. So this is one of the Google's pride. It is 80 and 20 program. So you put 80% of your work in a week to the core project, and 20% of your time for innovation activities that pique their own personal interest. So from that 20% activity, the Google Suggest or Google Maps, Gmail, and even Twitter was invented in the time during 20%. So those policies that allows people to express their ideas and about the autonomy that can improve their abilities. And that's just brief introduction about the benchmarking that I've done right now. And next, I'm focusing on following the trend of the millennials regarding the reward. So actually, I've conducted. This is the chart that I'm making about based on my research, based on my survey, and I will just briefly show my survey. So wait a minute. So this is not I'm conducting right now. So I've got 70 answers from 70%. So I just have really easy questions so that people will not get bored, but just be active with my survey. So at first I just I asked age and gender, which is basic questions. And then I just simply asked them, what is your first priority when you work, and second, third, and fourth to the eighth. And I included the work-life balance, and second is job security, and second is recognition about, third one is recognition about your contribution and honor, and fourth one is welfare, and fifth one is development programs for staff, and the sixth one is financial rewards, and then autonomy, and the last section was about job enrichment, and just sharing my further results. The first one has many people answered that work-life balance was the first priority they put. Most of them, it said 40%. So 28% of 70 persons answered work-life balance as the first place. And second, many people answered as a job security as their second priority. It is about same as 40%, 28 people among 70. And third, people consider recognition about their contribution and getting honor is their third priority. It is about 21 people out of 70. And the fourth one is about autonomy, such as the Google 80 and 20% program, about allocating 20% of their week time to their own ideas development. It has 28, about 29%. And fifth one is about financial rewards, so that I can check with my eyes that many millennials are these days, they're focusing on their life balance rather than just monetary rewards. And they want to spread like their ideas with autonomy. And the sixth one was their welfare. Actually, this is the autonomy, and this is the autonomy, which is the largest part. But since autonomy was in the fourth rank, I will exclude from this. And the sixth rank is this welfare, which is about 28%. And seventh one, more than a half answered the job enrichment, and last one was about development programs for employees, such as sending university to learn more. So these were my further research paper, and actually this survey is not done yet. So I'm going to give you update about my research next week. So until now, this was just brief introduction about my research paper.
Great, thank you for that.
I would comment, if you allow me, that in too many situations, people don't have time to get into details. So from this perspective, it really worth being able to send a feeling of trust, a feeling of confidence. So Xuying Li, it was very good showing that he worked, that is mastering the subject, that he knows what's inside. And before somebody will just check the very details, she managed to send the image that she's really on top of this subject. He worked a lot and he knows what he's saying. And I really appreciate for her being able to send this subliminal message on top of what is actually specifically written inside.
Okay.
Yes,
Any other comments from other people before I start talking again? I don't want to talk.
May I ask a question about this group's paper? Just simple question.
No.
That I want to. I
Good.
want to ask.
Good. Then just start. Be proud. Be confident.
Yeah. I can see that your content has also like comparing of the which the that Google has but Samsung does not have, and you may have a content about this. And are you gonna suggest the way that how Samsung can improve their like in the policies or the programs that compare with the Google, like such as that bring the Google's policy or references about that? And are you gonna suggest the way that how Samsung can improve, or you just want to compare the two companies like policies?
Actually, this is the part that I introduced, the benchmarking. And the benchmarking is the policies that Samsung can replicate, the meaning of the benchmarking. So actually, it's hard for me to decide the policy or make new rewards, non-monetary reward system for Samsung, because I don't know like the details about Samsung's now situation. So I just wanted to give them more ideas about, and I just according to the another research, they said Samsung is really focused on the money payments, not interesting motivation. So I just wanted them to realize the importance. The first one they have to do is realizing the importance of the interesting motivations. So I wanted to tell them like these non-monetary systems can be more effective, and this also help them to develop like such as Gmail or the Twitter or Gmaps that many people are using right now. So yeah, just the first step for my aim is to tell them the millennials who are now looking for jobs are more focused on interesting motivations rather than the monetary rewards.
Can I?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lee. Thank you very much for that good question. I'm specifically providing silence for a little while, waiting to hear something else. I'm going to start crying because of some Miss Lee and some Miss Ha. If you don't start talking, I'm going to jump up and down on your head. Let me help refresh your memory. I'm waiting to hear from Miss Lee and Miss Ha. What am I showing? Here is, again, all of our class files are here. There is optional student reference information here. Everybody in class has this. There's articles from students, of students. So if we check in here and we see Samsung compensation or a conference call and an actual recording of Samsung people talking about this. Miss Lee, Miss Ha, speak up. Chat in.
Yes. So what should we talk about?
No, you already know what you should be talking about. You guys are awesome. What did you learn that the other Miss Lee, Soo-Hyun Lee, could learn from? She's saying she's interested in teaching Samsung how to compensate millennials. Is that what you were trying to teach, Soo-Hyun Lee?
Yeah, the importance of the intrinsic motivations.
I think Lee Chat-in and Seong Ha have some information to share with you. If you're quiet, if you don't communicate, you're not going to get really successful. So just share what's going on. See, Soo-Hyun Lee, your intention, awesome. In your mind, awesome. But you're a student, and although you have researched some journals and some videos and details, I know that you've probably gone through this video. You've seen this, right? How Simon Sinek is talking, millennials want this in the world. Millennials want this for compensation. So this was nice. But Lee Chat-in, what did you hear? Talk about this. Talk about this.
So Mr. Boninam compared the key motivators of the employees a decade ago and the motivators of millennials. And he actually said that a decade ago, employees were more longing the opportunity to grow because they were looking forward to into the future. However, the millennials, as the cost of education and cost of living has gone up, but the wage has kept like the same. It hasn't gone up as like in the way the cost of education and life went up. So when students graduate from college, the first priority of them is to take care of the debts. So that's why he said compensation was the first priority and the best motivator of millennials. And that's what I've learned from him.
Okay, so my point is, Soo-Hyun Lee, you're doing a lot of hard work. You've read a lot of articles, you've written a paper, but I don't know if you've actually talked to many other people outside. You did do a survey. What did your survey say? What do all the people you talk to, what do they say? That is very important. Lee Chat-in and Seong Ha, they were doing the exact same thing, but they actually talked to Samsung top executive. And they interviewed them asking, Mr. Boninam, you manage all of Samsung's compensation. How do you do it? And so he talked about these things. Actually, Boni might have been a little bit confused on this day, but he was saying, overall, today, most people, like millennials, what they want is an opportunity to grow, number one, and later they want cash. But the most important thing they actually want is an opportunity to grow and do something of impact, also with a work-life balance. And so he was talking about that. And so you can go through, you can read these details. There's the whole interview, it's right here. And it was actually recorded. You can listen to the recording here. So Soo-Hyun Lee, you should be reading this. And surprisingly, another group of students had the same questions for the same guy the very next day. So there's many people around you that are communicating about this topic, but they're only thinking inside their mind and inside maybe Samsung. You're forgetting that your classmates are very valuable, and the people, your students around you outside, and even the neighbors in Daegu are very valuable. So your surveys are good. Focus on those details. So this also is the tape recordings of what other people are saying. Soo-Hyun Lee, you can use this in your research paper. It would make your paper even better. Even though you didn't talk to Bonnie, you can still use this interview.
So you mean I have to mention what Bonnie Nam had said, like one of the executive in Samsung said that blah 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 like that?
Yes, you can do that. You do not have to, but in my opinion, if you provide that, it would make your paper better. The more focused you are, the better. Avoid generalities. So far, your research is saying, I think this, and I think this. I think the millennials want this. But just your opinion, you have very low negotiation ability. You have several surveys of regular classmates or regular people. That survey results of regular people, it definitely helps you much more if you clarify what they want when they get a job. And now you also have the ability to put in an expert. Samsung's chief of compensation globally, he says this. And so, yeah, you can use it if you want. You do not have to, but if you do, it would make your argument stronger. Your negotiation for higher marks and to be a specialist looks better. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
And again, that is in here under the core class files, student optional reference information, articles of students, and the Samsung conference call. Those are the details, and the actual one of the recordings is right here. If you really want, I can give you a Zoom recording that I have, but I think I picked my nose in the middle, so I'm hiding that video until you really want it. Thank you. Any other students in class want to share details and get marks before I start talking more about negotiation details? Going once, going twice. I'm trying to give you marks. I'm trying to be generous. So, who in class now do we need to give extra marks to? What I also wanted to show is somebody was saying, here's some ideas to motivate people. And so here are 25 employee incentive ideas that will help motivate people. The more you say thank you to somebody, the more motivated they're going to be. The more you use good equipment and good technologies, the more motivated you're going to be. The more you honor the best employees, the more motivated they're going to be. So, Soo-Hyun Lee, you should be thanking and buying shots of beer or wine or tequila for Icharin and Xiang Ha and me and Julian and everybody else around you, the president of the university. Give thanks to the people around you, and that small thanks is the communication that will help deliver your message and make you more successful. So send a thank you note to as many people as you can. Post in their Facebook, post in their the university blog. KAC has a Facebook group. You can post there. Thank you for those details. That will help. So there's many different ways that you can motivate young people, old people, students, etc. This is ideas of how you can motivate people, just like what you're looking at, saying thank you, the same thing we're talking about. And one thing that I wanted to point out again is, although there are many ways there, focus on motivating your classmates. Don't forget the people right next to you. Icharin and Soo-Hyun Lee, you're doing very similar things. Talk together, share details more in Facebook, and you can use that in your own research. And forget class after you graduate. If you have an award for doing it, that helps you get more success. So we can make an award in class. And those details are here. You can, there's many ways you can compensate people or motivate people, give incentives. This is what Elon Musk does to motivate people. He allows people to have massages. I don't know, maybe I'm too old fashioned. You know, I'm not going to start talking about young students giving massages, but other people do. But bringing in celebrities, I already do this. We bring in Bonnie Nam, we bring in Alonso, we bring in Jens Graf, we bring in Julian from Europe and Ali from Southeast Asia. So be aware of these things that are around you and how that impacts you. Any other questions before I get back to this list again?
Professor, I have a question.
Shoot, go ahead.
I have a question regarding the form of the research paper. So should we do double space or not? Oh, and you mentioned about 12 pages are just the regular pages. And is that a double spaced page, or does 12 page also including reference, or except reference is 12 pages?
I only care about quality, period. And quality is usually not measured in 2020, 2021 by time or number of pages. Quality is measured based on only quality. And so I have given generally only a few requirements. You need to have at least 10 high quality, reliable sources, and those are your Scopus references. And then use extra references, new things like Facebook or survey details will help that. And I do not say how many pages, I do not say if it's single spaced or double spaced, but I do recommend you learn from the experts. You are trying to communicate internationally. And although I've worked with 128 different countries, I'm just one person. You should follow what you love in a Scopus journal article. Whatever is that journal article that you love, replicate that professional style, professional format. And if that is double spaced, do double spaced. Most professionals just do single spaced. And so I suggest you do those types of things. Here, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Like here is an example of a student paper. This is a student paper, and that you can see the student is not double spacing things. They're making their paper, talking about Hofstede, etc. It looks exactly like some professional, you know, they have the literature review, they have the introduction, the keywords, the abstract. This is single space. It looks like you're a professional. So make your paper look like a professional too, and then give this to Samsung, give this to Google, give this to other people. Put this in your resume. Communicate this more than just in class. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Professor.
Any other questions? What about Min Jae Kim? Can you tell me what is BATNA?
As written in the PPT, partner is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement.
Great. And so does anybody in class understand this enough to give an example? This is really important. It will change your world, change your life. Again, most people, they want this, and they go up to somebody else, and that other person maybe will pay only this much money. And so if you don't match, you're not going to have good results. So what does BATNA do? Anybody? I want to give marks away. Anybody that starts talking can get marks. Guess. Don't be worried about uncertainty. Uncertainty avoidance is only popular in Korea. Pretend like you're Donald Trump. Talk about elephants and rhinoceroses or anything, and you might get points. Julian, can you explain the concept of batna related to what most people do with negotiation? One person wants this, the other person just has this. If it doesn't match, you have failure. So how does a best alternative help? Is that clear? Anybody in class?
Somehow, yes. So the main idea, I guess, it is trying to not focus on something that not having a tunnel view and focusing on only on some specific issues, but try to put yourself in a position that you will have to find a way of negotiating that will put all the others, I mean, all the parties in a better position than the one before. And I'm
Right.
thinking, I'm thinking to some example. So there were recently some, it was a war in between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Maybe you don't know, it's far from you. But it came out that in the end they negotiated. So nobody was happy with the result of the negotiation. Okay, because one country lost some land, another one was not able to get enough land. The big players around, they wanted something else. So nobody was happy with the result. However, what happened? The war stopped. Okay, so actually everybody is getting a benefit that the war stopped. No people is dying, and everybody actually get to some result in the end.
Okay, if the negotiation environment changes, that's good. But what BATNA is really focused on is most people in the world, they're thinking, I just want this, and I'm trying to get this from the other person. And if you don't match, there will be failure. And so an alternative is don't just ask for one thing. Don't just look for one thing. Look for many things. This is perfect, but this is also good. And this is not bad. And this is good. And this is good. And then find out what the other person, yes, he has this money, but he doesn't want to give that. He doesn't want to give you the middle finger, but he can give you all of these other things. So you can have results that are for other things that you weren't initially looking for, but they're good alternatives. So always think in your mind, what is the bigger picture? Don't just study textbooks in a class and write one paper. Write your paper for your job. Write your paper for a company. Write your paper with some famous company on the other side of the world that wants to give money away just to look good with a grant. Write your paper to learn and research something for not just the teacher, but write your paper for the company and for maybe your mom, your brother, your uncle, somebody else. So there's many ways to look for things. Go into your negotiation realizing there's many things that you can get and there's many things the other person can give. Soon as you do that, it's not just one thing that you're targeting, it's many, and it's easier to overlap. So that's what we're talking about. Class is basically finished, but as always, I'm going to stay around an hour before class. We're here an hour after class. I can stay. I want to give you marks if you communicate. Hazel Han and Hong Min, many of you, I believe you promised me you're going to talk more this class. So if you keep talking more, you can get more marks. But until you do, I'm going to keep talking and teaching. So related to negotiation, make sure you're aware that another rule is separate people from the problem. Don't just focus, I want this. Don't just understand he's able to give this. Understand that there's many things he has, and why is he only focusing on giving you the middle finger? Maybe he's giving you the middle finger because that's biggest, and he has a whole handful of other things. Maybe in his culture, the middle finger's not bad. So separate people from the problem. Strange example, but I thought it was funny. Cross-cultural communications, translating jokes are some of the hardest things to communicate across cultures. Remember your interpersonal relationships, especially in Korea, Japan, China. if you think about what is your relationship and the relationship of the other person, and you manage your communication around the relationships, that will help your negotiations. For example, if you're trying to get a job in a company and you know the hiring manager, the HR manager, he's looking for something, but if you know his boss, and if he's like a cousin or a school graduate from our university, that can help your negotiation. If you know the president, that can help your negotiation. So understand the interpersonal relationships. For example, me, if you want something from me, great, you can negotiate with me. But if you also understand, I have a wife, you negotiate. If you know her, it might help you. If you know my kids, it might help you. If you know my boss, it might help me. If you know the president and you develop a relationship, send a thank you note to the president. This guy is great. Those type of things. Think of that interpersonal relationship. Next, some people say that there are problems, and I'm not going to talk too much longer. Again, class is finished, but Harvard says you should beware. Their perception is a problem. Emotions are a problem. Communication is a problem. Well, I think I know that Harvard is not always correct. They are wrong here. An example, they say it's bad to have emotion in a negotiation. That's not true. If you have two people walking down the street, let's say it's a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend, a couple, if one person starts crying, what's going to happen? All you need to know, there's two people, they look happy, but one person starts to cry. You will know that this person is going to start maybe saying, oh, what's the problem? And they're going to say, oh, here, I'll help you. I'm going to give you a massage. I'll give you a nice hug. I'll give you flowers. I'll give you candy. I'll give you something to make you feel better. All they did was show emotion, and they can get more out of the negotiation. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it impacts negotiation. So no emotion can help your negotiation. Next, with communicating, don't fall into the trap and only think of SRC. You're communicating what you want. That's not important. What you really want is the other person to give you something. So try to understand what are the key words that other person wants to say. Every one of you is making a term paper now. What is the title of your term paper? If you just think of the title words in your mind, that's nice. But the world doesn't really care. Google and big data knows the world cares about very special keywords. If you use those keywords related to your topic, you will be much more successful. So how you communicate also impacts your results in a negotiation.